Hello, good afternoon. It is 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Very soon the Brits will catch up with us, so we'll not be doing 1 p.m. British time and 1 p.m. British time and then 12 p.m. 12 noon British time. What am I saying? 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show. It is verses and paragraphs and everything in between. And judging by all the sentences I am seeing being made on Facebook, I know that people are learning something. Hello, Afo Ruth Afo is watching from Kaduna. Good to have you on the show. Today we'll be talking a little bit about grammar, yes, and I want to be talking to you about anaphora. Anaphora is spelled, let me look for it. I wrote it out. Anaphora is spelled A-N-H. John is watching from the United States of America. I don't know what state he's in, but he's watching from the United States of America. Good to have you on the show. We're talking about an anaphora. Anaphora is spelled A-N-A-P-H-O-R-A, and I decided to write it out. Anaphora. Now, an anaphora is the repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of each line of a poem, speech, or a sermon. And it is particularly effective when one wishes to emphasize the subject of an action. Now, examples of anaphora. Uncle Ima is watching from Benin. Uncle Ima, good to have you on board. I'm talking about anaphora. Now, anaphora in poetry, poets use anaphora to establish a rhythm, structure of a poem, or highlight certain ideas that they continue repeating a word. Now, while I was looking for anaphora or checking up anaphora, I found a poem written by a lovely lady, and I'd like to read it and show you an example of anaphora. Anaphora, I said, is the repetition of a word or a phrase at the beginning of each line or sentence of a speech or a poem. Now, this poem has anaphora. I'll read. I fight even with tears in my eyes, but still I fight. And when lightning strikes, I may bend, but I won't break. And when I bleed, I'm still stronger than you think. Hello, Ruth. And this poem has been written by Nita Roberts. She's a friend on Facebook. I just saw the poem, and since we're talking about anaphora today, which is the repetition of a phrase or a line or words at the beginning of each sentence, I thought I should read it, and I'll read it once again. I fight, even with tears in my eyes, but still I fight. Notice the repetition of the word I fight. She has used I fight. She wants to establish. My brother, Dr. Raphael James, is watching from Lagos. Good to have you on the show. And when lightning strikes, I may bend, but I won't break. And when I bleed, I'm still stronger than you think. So that is anaphora in poetry. And I noticed another of her poems again. It starts, molded by the perfect hands of the Creator, I was molded to perfection. So if you notice, she has used anaphora. Molded twice, perfect creator, and then perfection. So that is anaphora. Hello, my sister-in-law is watching from Edinburgh. Good to have you on the show. Today we're talking about anaphora. And anaphora is the repetition of words or phrases at the beginning of a sentence. And most people use them either in poetry to highlight a certain idea or in speeches to highlight certain words. Now, one of the famous speeches with anaphora is the speech of Dr. Martin Luther King, I beg your pardon. In his speech, I have a dream. I do not know the story, but I know that for 8 consecutive sentences, he began them with I have a dream. I have a dream that one day Nigeria will be great. That's not what he said, though. I have a dream that one day everybody will be watching this program. But anyway, that is anaphora in speeches. And then in everyday speeches, Ben Ovio fights the fine fight for the faith. Oh, that's great. Ben Ovio is watching from Europe, I guess, from London. Good to have you on board. And then in everyday speech, people use anaphora to express desires or needs. I'll read you some. I found out some. Every day, every night, in every way, I am getting better and better. Then, my life is my purpose. My life is my goal. My life is my inspiration. You're trying to emphasize a point. Without you realizing it, you're using anaphora. Anaphora is the repetition of a phrase or words at the beginning of each sentence. I want my money right now, right here, all right. And then also, you know that some children, they like using anaphora. I want to eat bread. I want cake. I want it now. So when you use words that are repetitive at the beginning of a sentence, you are using anaphora. Now let me look for that anaphora again and then hold it up so that people can see the spelling of anaphora. Alliteration is words, letters. The difference between anaphora and alliteration is letters and words. You know, you have hi Kemi, Elizabeth Joy is watching too. So anaphora, talking about anaphora, which is the repetition of words, not the repetition of letters or spellings. Anaphora is a repetition of words at the beginning of each sentence to emphasize a point. Alliteration is like you have words or letters and they lend to the rhythm. They are not emphasizing their point, but it's just alliteration. So that's the difference. Now, I like to be talking about today's word of the day. And the word of the day I have it somewhere, is, wait for it, pullulate. And pullulate is spelled Pullulate. Pullulate. That's today's word of the day, pullulate. It is a verb, and that verb means to breed, produce, or create rapidly, to increase rapidly, and to multiply. So I know that the animals we have that can pullulate, we have rabbits, they pullulate, cockroaches pullulate, rats, they pullulate, they breed rapidly. And it derives from the Latin verb pullulare, to sprout or to put forth. So when you have things that breed rapidly, they produce rapidly or create rapidly, it is pullulating. So that's the word for today, pullulate. And guess what? I have a bonus word for today. I saw the word and I could not pass it up because it is very, very interesting. And that bonus word of the day is yegg. Y-E-G-G. Yegg. There it is. Yegg. There you go. Did I get it right? Yes. Yegg. Y-E-G-G. Did I get it right? Yeah, I guess I did. Yegg. Now, what is a yegg? A yegg is somebody who breaks open safes to steal. A yegg is also a robber. So if somebody steals, you can call the person a yegg. And we have so many yeggs. There are different kinds of yeggs. There are pen yeggs. There are yeggs who stand at gunpoint. There are yeggs who go into your house and they break open. And these are yeggs. Mukhtar is watching. Mukhtar, welcome to the show. Kemi Olorunfemi, thank you for being on the program. Shout out to everybody. Elizabeth Joe is watching from Kaduna. Good to have you on the show. Today we have been talking about anaphora, and anaphora is the repetition of words or phrases at the beginning of each sentence to emphasize a point when you're speaking or in a poem or in a speech. We talked about Martin Luther King talking about I have a dream. Baba Narua, thank you for joining the program. Welcome on. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream famous famous speech. I don't know it. I do not claim to know his speech, but all I know is that he kept on saying I have a dream, and he said it for 8 consecutive sentences. So that is, he used it in an anaphoric way, because he wanted to repeat a certain idea, and that idea would stick in people's minds. Then in everyday speech, when you keep on insisting, for instance, that I want my money, I want it now, I want it in cash, I want it in $1,000, 1,000 naira bills, and I want it now, you are being anaphoric. And then when you say I read something, my life is my purpose, my life is my goal, my life is my inspiration. That is anaphoric. And then I read a poem that I found online. And this is a young lady, she's my friend. I just want to read it for those of you who are just coming on. And she goes, I fight even with tears in my eyes, but still I fight. I just love that. And when lightning strikes, I may bend, but I won't break. And when I bleed, I'm still stronger than you think. And I found it on Facebook. Nita Roberts, she wrote that poem. But her use of I fight at the beginning of a sentence just shows you exactly what the poet is thinking about. I am going to fight. No matter what you do, I will still fight. And that is the use of anaphora in poetry. And then she also used another one, molded by the perfect hands of the Creator. I am molded to perfection. I just love that. Molded by the perfect hands of the Creator, I was molded to perfection. She uses molded and perfect, and then by the time she gets to the next sentence, she talks about perfection. And that's from Nita Roberts. I found it on Facebook. So, and then our word of the day is pullulate. Pullulate means to breed, produce, or create rapidly, to increase rapidly, to multiply. And I know that there are certain animals or insects that pullulate, like when you have those rats in Lagos and rats everywhere, they pullulate. George Adebisi is watching. Good to have you on board, class captain. There are Facebook yeggs, right? How are they yeggs? How are they Facebook yeggs? Because a yegg is the bonus word of the day, yegg. A yegg is one that breaks open safes to steal, and it's also a robber. So Aforut says that they are Facebook yeggs. Can you tell us how these people have become yeggs? What makes them yeggs? Yeah, you see, late comer has just come in, and that is George Adebisi. So Ruth Afo, can you tell us what you mean by Facebook yeggs? A yegg is someone who breaks open safes to steal, and also a robber. So you have so many robbers out there. We talked about pen robbers, we talked about arm robbers, we talked about rubber robbers, people who just go about robbing, but they are yeggs. And then the second word, or the first word of the day, is pullulate. Pullulate means to breed rapidly, to create rapidly, to increase rapidly, to multiply. George, there's no need for you to okay, yes, I agree that you are late, George. George is apologizing for coming on late because I'm almost about finishing, I'm almost about rounding up. But today we talked about anaphora, which is a repetition of a word or a phrase at the beginning of a sentence, which is different from alliteration. Alliteration is like use different words which have almost like the same spelling or the same sound. Is different from repeating a word or a phrase. And I just read you a poem. Pullulate is our word of the day. Pullulate means create rapidly or multiply. And then the second word of the day is bonus. I gave a bonus word of the day because I saw it and I couldn't resist, and it is yegg. Yegg. And a yegg is someone who breaks open safes, or could also be regarded as a robber. Now, Ruth Afo said there are Facebook yeggs. I'm still waiting for Ruth Afo to describe what she means by yeggs that are on Facebook. What have they been stealing? What are the robbers? Anyhow, while I'm still waiting for Ruth, do go to my Facebook page. I would like you, I want to say thank you to those of you who have been to my Facebook page and those of you who are making sentences with the new words. It's good to increase your knowledge. It's good because you never can tell when there will be the need for you to come up with that word. So check out my Facebook page. And if you have missed watching any of my episodes, go to YouTube channel, type my name, Erumena Amata. My TV channel will come up, and then you can watch all the past episodes, and then you can learn from them. Ben Ovio, yes, thank you so much. You need to take this to schools. Great initiative. Thank you very much, Ben. Yes, okay, we'll see how we do it. Yes, Uncle Ima, thank you so much. Uncle Ima says, precious friend Mena, you are doing so well. Thank you so much, Uncle Ima. I truly appreciate that one. Uncle Ima is watching from Benin City, and that Silva Babatunde is just coming on, and she's watching from Abuja. Tayo Konga, thank you so much for coming on. Tayo is watching in Lagos. Today we'll be talking about anaphora, and an anaphora is a word or phrase that is repeated at the beginning of a sentence when you're speaking, at the beginning of a poem, and probably at the beginning of a speech. And usually an anaphora is to emphasize a point or emphasize an idea. And one of the speeches we talked about is Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream. I Have a Dream was repeated for 8 consecutive sentences, and it was to repeat what he was trying to bring to the hearing of his listeners. And then we had 2 words of the day. We had pullulate, P-U-L-U-L-A-T-E, and pullulate means to breed rapidly. I'm doing this for those who are just coming on. Pullulate means to create rapidly or to multiply. And then yeg, which is I couldn't resist it, is a bonus word. Yeg means someone who breaks open safes or who is a thief, a robber. English people call it robber, but we Nigerians will call it thief. So yeg is a thief. My brother Dr. Raphael James says, I agree with you. Martin Luther King used a good example of anaphora more in I Have a Dream, which is repeated 8 times as King paints a picture of an integrated and unified America for his audience. Thank you. Sanu Deswa. So I think that's about all that I have for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and let's make it a date tomorrow. And in the meantime, please go to my Facebook page. You'll see words you can use there. And then if you like me to read your poem or you like me to read your speech on this one, I'll read it out. It doesn't matter whether it's anaphoric or not, but if it's a poem that you wish to share with everyone, I'll read it out. But I just read the poem today to show you the use of anaphora in a poem. Yes, and I mentioned the words of the day, and if you've missed any of my episodes, do go to my YouTube channel. The link, if once you type in Remain Amata, my name will come up, and that is the link. So thank you everyone. Shout out to everyone who has tuned in today from the different parts of Nigeria, also from America. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. I can't do this without you. Please tune in again tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in, and do have a pleasant rest of the day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.